you make one bad decision, you're probably going to continue to make another bad decision throughout the day. So when you wake up and the first thing that you do is chug a bunch of water, eat a healthy breakfast that you prepared, like, you already won your fucking day. This next one comes from our cameraman, Glenn.
Yo.
You want to go ahead and ask that question, Mr. Glenn?
Question I got asked was, how important is breakfast?
So this is a question that someone asked you.
Yeah.
What's his general physique like?
He's medium, not fat, not skinny,
Right.
just average, and he drinks like just a powerful coffee and then eats lunch.
Oof.
And I somewhat did the same thing, but not a strong sugary coffee.
Okay, so he's putting a lot of shit into it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so here's the thing: he is having breakfast. It's a fucking pound of sugar. Like,
God.
So he's like the word breakfast literally means break a fast. So I've talked about fasting in a few episodes. I've talked about it in a ton of my content in general, but. Breakfast is literally, you are breaking a fast. You've been sleeping for hopefully at least 8 hours. And, maybe you had dinner like 2 to 4 hours beforehand. So theoretically, you've been fasting for about 12 hours, right? The importance of breakfast is that is the first thing that your body is going to take hold of. And it's going to be the first thing that your body really absorbs. It's going to be much more receptive to it. So do you want the first thing that your body absorbs to be a bunch of sugar and creamer? Because that's something that a lot of people will say is like, oh, I'm just never hungry in the morning, so I just have a cup of coffee. And it's like, if you were having like, and this still isn't ideal, like if you were just having a black cup of coffee or something like that, and maybe you toss some butter in there or something, like that's what I tend to do, or I'll do like a cup of tea. Usually what I end up doing is I'll use that to kind of stoke my appetite first thing in the morning, and then I usually end up getting hungry about 30 minutes after that coffee or that tea. And there's some drawbacks to having coffee that early in the morning as well. And all my weird hippie granola friends that might hear this, trust me, I know. It's just where I'm at right now. I'm enjoying my coffee again. But breakfast is the first thing that's going to get into your system. It's also going to be what wakes your metabolism up. Like your something else that you can do. Something that I've talked about this before, and it's something that I do. So I'm a pretty big fan of Mountain Valley water. I also get spring water delivered to my house, but I mean the people who are watching this on YouTube, like you can see, I got a bottle of Mountain Valley here. Listen. Ooh, there we go. But like this thing's 34 ounces, and I'll chug like half of this thing before I do anything. So right when I get up out of bed, chug half the fucking bottle. Sometimes I'll toss a splash of salt in it. And that will normally stoke my appetite as well. A lot of times when people say how important is breakfast, what they mean is, Andrew, I'm not hungry in the morning. Well, you're probably not hungry because, one, you probably are dehydrated, or two, you probably ate really, really close to going to bed. So the importance of it, it's what starts your day, man. If you start your day with a shitty habit, guess how you're going to end your day? With another shitty habit. Like, this is just the reality of it. It's the reason that I, whenever I talk to my clients about it, I always talk about trying to make consistently small, good decisions that are going to compound over a long period of time. You make one bad decision, you're probably going to continue to make another bad decision throughout the day. So when you wake up and the first thing that you do is chug a bunch of water, eat a healthy breakfast that you prepared, like, you already won your fucking day. It has nowhere to go but up from there, provided you choose to continue doing that. Like, you already started your day off great. Congratulations. But Glenn, do you feel that answers it, or does that kind of skirt the question?
Yeah, I mean that's basically it. Just curious, what would you recommend? Like, I'm eating right now oats and just a cup of coffee, or green tea now.
Well, my general rule is make sure that you have some protein in your diet, or in every single meal, and that includes like snacks and stuff like that. So Americans, we have this idea of like breakfast food, which, I mean, go look at breakfast around the globe. It looks nothing like what we have in America. Breakfast food is the food that you eat for breakfast. So if that is steak and eggs or bacon or sausage or a rotisserie chicken, like that is breakfast food. Breakfast food is whatever you eat for breakfast. So you don't need to get too caught up in like, oh, like it needs to be oats or cereal or bacon and eggs, because that's what breakfast is. Like this morning for breakfast, what did I actually have? I actually had a kind of a breakfasty breakfast today. I had buckwheat, Brussels sprouts, and sausage. So I actually had like buckwheat cereal, for lack of a better word. Like picture like oatmeal, but it's buckwheat. So I actually had something that resembles a pretty typical American breakfast. But yeah, I mean, toss a tiny little bit of veggies in there. Have some kind of protein source, and if you're trying to gain weight, if you're trying to build muscle, have some carbs in there. But one of the important things too is that be aware of how you actually feel after that. That's one of the most important things, because how do I know what I need to eat? It's because I've become pretty aware of okay, I ate sausage today. How did I feel? Well, I felt pretty good, but that's also because I'm pretty fat adapted. I do really good with a high fat diet. I didn't always though. But right now I had a pretty high carb lunch, and my energy kind of tanked a little bit because it was a lot of like fruit, is what it was. But the breakfast that you need to eat is the breakfast that makes you feel good. But as a general rule, there is you're always going to win if you have some kind of protein and some kind of veggies. And by protein, I don't mean fucking protein shakes, you guys. Try to eat some real food, please. But yeah, grab some shredded chicken and, heat it up with some Brussels sprouts or some spinach and toss some eggs in there, and boom, you're set. There's dude, breakfast skillets are the easiest thing ever, and you can pretty much make them all in one pan. There's no downside to a breakfast skillet as long as you feel good after eating it. Does that answer that?
That answers my question.
Boom, there we go. Hell yeah, you got it, brother. Did you like this clip? Did you like getting that question answered? Do you have a question that you want answered? Well, boy howdy, by golly, have I got the way for you. It's wherever you're viewing this at right now. Go ahead and shoot me a DM, guys. Let me know that question that you've got. Let me know the question that you haven't gotten answered yet, and I'll make sure to crank that out for you.